अस्सलाम वालेकुम डियर स्टूडेंट्स। लास्ट लेक्चर के अंदर हमने स्टडी किया था अबाउट द बी ट्रीज. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी हैड सीन द importance, the reason why we use the bee tree, and then after going into that we looked into how we can create a bee tree. So an assignment was given to you as well, but it is unfortunate that very few students they have sent me the assignment on the YouTube channel. So others are again requested to send it. Of course it will be graded as less as compared to the ones which who has submitted already. So please don't be lazy and do your work. Inshallah, Allah will do best for all of us. So these were the discussions in the last lecture. We had done the motivation of the bee tree, and then its different construction parameters, and this was the example of a complete bee tree of order 5. Majority of students sent it to me, and it was quite satisfactory that they understood the concept and creation of the bee tree. So this is an M-way or multi-way tree which is having 5 nodes, maximum in a node 5 values, and as soon as the 5 values are inserted in a given node, it is split into the 3 further node, and the central value is promoted to the upper level. And this was the example of construction of the bee tree which we did. So I will quickly skip it out, and I will go to the point where we stopped last time. Okay, this one. So this one was the exercise given to you to create a binary tree. So if you done it already, then it's good. Otherwise please do it now, as this will be the further extending into the deletion side. Okay, so once we completed the insertion into a bee tree by looking into the idea and concept which were discussed in the previous lecture, that the insertion should be in a given node in a sorted form, and once the limit is reached for that particular node, the node should be splitted into further nodes. So that was the all about the insertion. Now we will try to look at the removal, that is the deletion from a bee tree. So during insertion the key always goes into a leaf. We have seen in our previous lecture that whenever there is an insertion operation, it is compared with the root node, and if it is less than the root node values, it goes to the left side of the root node. Otherwise it goes to the right side. So always the value which is to be inserted goes to the leaf node. For deletion, we wish to remove from the leaf. So whenever there is a value to be deleted, we must delete it from the leaf. In here it could be a question that, for example, if there is a value which is to be deleted is a non-leaf node, then how it will work. So we will see how it will work, that we will select some value from the leaf, promote it to the desired location, and delete the value which is a non-leaf. So there are 3 possible ways we can achieve this target. First one is, if the key is already in a leaf node and removing it does not cause that leaf node to have too few keys, then simply remove the key to be deleted. You may remember in the previous lecture that there is a condition of minimum and maximum nodes in a key. So it will depend. If you have some confusion, you can listen the last lecture, that what is the few keys limit and what is the maximum keys limit in a given multi-way tree. For example, if m is equal to 5, then you will have to see what is the maximum limit, what is the minimum limit of number of nodes in a given at a given level. And similarly, if m is equal to 7, then that will few keys and maximum and minimum keys will vary. इसी तरह से if m is equal to 3, then it will again vary. So if the key is not in a leaf, that is it is a non-leaf node, then it is granted by the nature of a B tree that its predecessor or successor will be in a leaf. In this case, we can delete the key and promote the predecessor or successor key to the non-leaf deleted key's position. We already know about predecessors and successors with respect to a particular node. So it's in this point we try to highlight that if a key is existing in some non-leaf node and we want to delete that key, then we will find some value in its successor or predecessor, and we will promote that value to that particular location from where the value has been deleted. Okay, so we will shortly look at these descriptions with the help of some examples. So if 1 or 2, the previous points which were discussed, point number 1 or point number 2, point number 1 was a value to be deleted from the leaf node, causing it should not be less than the minimum number of keys at that particular level, or the number 2 which is saying if the value to be deleted is a non-leaf node, then we need to promote its successor or predecessor to that particular location, lead to a leaf node containing less than the minimum number of keys. Then we have to look at the siblings immediately adjacent to the leaf in question. For example, here it is a kind of structure like this one, in which we delete some value, and that causes from where from this point we delete some value, and from this side, for example, some value is promoted to the upper side, then and that causes the number of keys less than the number of keys. Then we have to look at the siblings. For example, अगर इसकी promotion जो ऊपर जाने से इसकी जो number of keys हैं they are too few, then we have to see the siblings of this particular node. Siblings, we already know that siblings are those nodes which are having the same parent. For example, if इस node का जो sibling होगा, it could be this one, it could be if for example it has some other child here, then it could be the sibling with this one. So we will look at the siblings of this node, and then we will decide. For example, point 3 says if one of them, yani one of the siblings, has more than the minimum number of keys, then we can promote one of its key to the parent and then take the parent key into our lacking leaf. For example, we say this is the node from where the promoting has causes the deficiency of the keys. Then we look at the keys in its sibling, for example this one. So if this sibling has too many keys and one of the key can be promoted towards the parent, so we will promote that, and then from this we will demote one value to make it the at the desired level. So if neither of them has more than the minimum, for example this is the node under question, and none of its sibling, this one and this one, they don't have sufficient number of keys, then the lacking leaf and one of its neighbors can be combined. Like in this case, this node can be combined with one of its sibling, either this one or this one. can be combined with their shared parent, the opposite of promoting a key, and the new leaf will have the correct number of keys. If this step leave the parent with too few keys, then we repeat the process up to the root itself if required. This will be done repeatedly until we get the desired number of the keys at a particular level. So keep in mind these points, and we will utilize these points in order to perform the deletion from a particular tree. Okay, let's look at this random example, and in which we discuss the type number 1, simple leaf deletion. We just discussed in the point number 1 that for example, if there is a key which needs to be deleted and that exists in the leaf, and causing the deletion of that node does not limits the number of keys at that particular level. So assume a 5-way B tree as before. So in this case there must be minimum 2 keys at a leaf level and maximum there could be 4 keys. So we now we want to delete the value 2. So first we will look at the value 2, where does it exist. So it is compared with this root node, which is 12, and then it goes to the left side, and finally it locate the value 2. So 2 is to be deleted. Since there are enough keys in the node, just delete it. So if we delete the value 2, then what will happen? Deleting this node causes the this level to be having 2 nodes, which is sufficient. So we don't need to do any kind of promotion or demotion or merging of the node with other values. Okay, so this will simply delete this node and should be fine. Okay, type number 2, the point number 2 we just discussed, that simple non-leaf deletion. For example, we are interested to delete a node which is a non-leaf node, say 52 in this case. So 52 is to be deleted, as we discussed in the start of this lecture, that deletion should always be done in the leaf node. So how we will accomplish that point? We want to delete 52, but we need to promote some of the value from the childs of this 52 in order to fill the gap at this point. Okay. 52 borrow the predecessor, or in this case successor. So predecessor will be these values, and successor will be these values which are coming after the value of 52, this one. So if let's say if we try to look at this predecessor values, and if we try to borrow one of the value from this one, then it will cause the deficiency of the node at this level, that is 1, and then we have to perform some kind of merge operation or something which is need to be promoted from this sibling or this sibling, and then merge those nodes. But luckily in this case, the successor of 52, it is having enough values, so we borrow the predecessor, in this case the successor 56, and we promote it to the value of this 52. So 52, at first step we delete the 52, logically this value is out, and then one of the value from its successor, in this case, that has been promoted to the location of 52. So this value should be promoted towards the upper side, 56, and this node is now being emptied, deleted, and we can see that the promotion of this node to the upper side, it does not cause the number of nodes at this point to too few, right? So it will not need any kind of merging or other operations. The 56 has been promoted to the upper side, and that completes the delete operation. Okay, let's look at another case where that we discuss the type number 4, too few keys in nodes and its siblings. Then what will be happening? For example, in this case we want to delete the value 72. So and try to look at this and try to analyze what it could be, how it could be accomplished. Please have a look in just 1-2 minutes, and then we will continue this one. Okay, let's say 72, we simply delete it. In case this level has sufficient number of nodes, then it was very easy to delete the 72 node. Simply delete that, and if we have left with the 2 minimum values at this point, then we don't need to do anything. But in this case, if we look at this, if we delete the 72, according to the assumptions points in point number 4, which we discussed before, we have to look at the siblings of this particular level, because deletion of 72 causes the key only 1 at this point. So these are too few keys to be adjusted, that is, only 1 key is here. So we look at the siblings. So how about the sibling of this particular level? The sibling of this level or this node is the only value, which is 3143, this one, and it don't have any right sibling at this point or somewhere in this side. So what we have to do is, according to the points mentioned below in the previous slides, we have to merge this particular point around this particular point, this one, including this node 56. So deletion of that 76 key causes the too few keys at this particular level. So we join back together this portion, this one, 31, 43, 56 and 69, like this one, and make it as a लीफ नोड 29 इसकी जो राइट साइड होगी इट विल बी लुक लाइक दिस 31 43 56 69 and so on. So that completes the deletion in the previous slide. In this case, the type number 3, enough siblings are there. For example, we want to delete the 22 value, this one. So once we delete the 22, which causes the too few keys at this particular node, only the 15 will be remaining, and then we look at the sibling of this particular node. So the left sibling of this is having already it's on the edge. We cannot borrow any key from this level, from this side. So let's look at the right sibling of this particular node. So looking at the right side, we see that we have enough number of keys. For example, if we borrow 1 key from this point, from this side, then we are not left with too few keys. So it means the borrowing operation in this particular example could be successful. So what we do is, like this one, we promote one value here and demote from upper side to this one. Like 29 is moved to the this location, this one, and 31 is promoted to the upper location, like this one. So that will complete. So this will be demoted, finished from this one. 31 is here, and right of 31 will be like this one, and that completes the deletion. So first we delete this value, then we demote root key and promote the leaf key. So 29 is demoted, 31, which is the leaf key, is promoted from this point to this one, and that's all. This one, that's completes the deletion of this one. Okay, so we try to discuss all the possible cases of the deletion. Now it's again your turn. If you have already completed this these values and created a tree, 5-way B tree, then it's good, and you need to add these further keys 2, 6 and 12. And once the tree is completed with this and this value, delete these keys 4, 5 one by one, and then perform the necessary actions as we just discussed. So delete 4, then delete 5, then delete 7, 3 and 14. So please complete this exercise, and again place it on the YouTube channel, and this will be the last chance for you guys. If you complete it insertion and deletion by this Friday, then it should be okay. Otherwise this should be considered as non-compliance from your side. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next lecture. Allah Hafiz.